All right, these are stories that about my time in the Marine Corps, and it was a unusual time to be in the military at all. It was I was in there from 1978 to 1982. As I tell people when I was in, I tell them it was the golden age of the Marine Corps. It was right after Vietnam, but before drug testing, and it was a unique time. And people that I've been in, that I've was in with, that I've still in contact with, we've been talking, and it's time for us to share our experience in the Marine Corps. I know that this, you know, everybody has a unique experience anywhere in life, but I think the experience that we had in the Marine Corps was well, quite a bit different than what most people had. We'll get into that as we go along. I went to boot camp June of 1978, 2 weeks after I graduated from high school. After 12 years of Catholic school, I headed on to 4 years in the Marine Corps. So, 13 years of being browbeat by nuns and priests. Boot camp was it was kind of a letdown. It was, I mean, the drill instructors actually couldn't smack it upside the face with a 3-foot ruler or the glove, or the nuns did, they had the gloves off. They didn't have the problems that the drill instructors had as far as oversight. They only answered to the man upstairs. You know what I mean? So anyway, I went into boot camp in June of '78, and then after that, I went to ITS. Well, it was called ITS back then. It was an infantry training school at Camp Pendleton at Camp Onofre. And I was trained as a 0351. That was basically anti-tank and demolition. So they taught us how to blow things up and make set charges and stuff, and then just the basics of firing a law and a couple other things. Then after ITS, I went to, or I stayed at Camp Onofre. I was put on camp guard, awaiting orders. So I spent probably a month or two at camp guard at Onofre, living in the Quonset huts there, and down by right by back then it was the movie theater was right there. They had an outdoor movie theater. And then from Camp Guard, I was sent over to Okinawa in November, right around Thanksgiving. I was sent to the Dragon Platoon and 3rd Battalion, 4th Marines, and I spent a year on Okinawa. Like I said, as a member of the Dragon Platoon. It was actually when I first got there, the Dragons and the 81 millimeter mortars were in the H&S company, and then we were split off into our own separate weapons company about halfway through my time over there, and from Okinawa, I was sent back after a year. I was sent back to Camp Lejeune, and ended up in a tow company at 2nd Tank Battalion. TOWS was 0352, which was the guided missile. This is background for people who are watching this that might not have been in the Marine Corps. A lot of other people watching this probably all know all the background. Anyways, when I was in TOWS, the TOWS back then were mounted on World War II era Jeeps. So we all were we were all raised watching the Rat Patrol in the '60s. So when we started riding around on those Jeeps, we kind of took that spirit to heart when we were out in the field. So now I want to take a little bit of time to actually we're going to backtrack. And actually, I'm not going to go linear tale whatsoever, because I'm getting to that right now. Actually, I've had a couple strokes, and also my brain didn't work to right or didn't work normal to start with. I've found out late in life that I had a kind of a what do you call it, a personality disorder, kind of related to schizophrenia. It's actually a schizoaffective personality disorder. Anyway, so I'll ramble. I'll go back and forth with stuff. So anyway, the reason we want to get our stories out there is because we were in like I said, it was a different time right after Vietnam, and it was not a very back then people did not were not thanking military people for their service and all that. When I was on my way home from boot camp, I think I was going through a Los Angeles airport. I had a couple hippies back then came up and spit on me and called me a baby killer. And I said, I just got out of boot camp. I hadn't even had any time to kill any babies yet. So, but yeah, so it was a different time. So going into the military was not a popular choice coming out of high school. I know that my guidance counselor when I was in high school, when I went in and when he brought me in there for guidance counseling about career and stuff, he brought me in there. He wanted to talk to me about going to college, and I told him I was already enlisted in the Marine Corps. This is my senior year, and he basically started crying when he heard I was going into the Marine Corps. So like I said, it was a different time to be going in the Marine Corps. So it brought a different type of personality into the Marine Corps. People I was in were a lot of family. A lot of family members had been in the Marine Corps. People, going back for several generations, and then there was just a lot of people. Actually, we were about the last group of people where I went to boot camp with 5 or 6 guys that their recruiter was their local sheriff. They were given the choice of going to the Marine Corps or going to the military or going to jail. So. Like I said, we were about the last group of a law enforcement recruited Marines, and then also at that time, as a recruiting tool, like I said, it was the military was not a popular choice, so they had something called a combat arms bonus for if you signed up promising to or not promising, because you don't promise them anything. They tell you whatever. But anyway, that you would sign up to go directly into an infantry unit, an infantry MOS. And then they would give you $2,500, cash. I think it was tax free and everything. Um, and I know that nowadays that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but back, to somebody coming out of high school in the late 70s, the $2,500, that was, that was almost enough for a new car, So you got all these people that they wanted to go in the military, even though that it was not a popular thing. And then not only that, they wanted to go into the infantry for selling our souls for $2,500. So there was already that mindset to start with. And then when you get to ITS, they take your test scores on the ASVAB, and they basically break you down depending on your test scores. And the 0351s, these were the people that had the highest ASVAB test scores. So you have the most intelligent, hard charging infantry guys that it ended up in 0351, 0352s. So you got a bunch of guys that are kind of borderline sociopath, antisocial types, and then you take the smartest ones of them and put them all together in a unit where they're all together. And with the when I got to tow company at Camp Lejeune, that was when the folly came out when at that time, back at Camp Lejeune, while tow company was still together as a one, monolithic unit, where we had 3 sections, and I can't remember how many squads in each section. I think like maybe 4 squads in a section. Anyway, so then you get a bunch of really intelligent guys but also wanted to go into the military and go into the Marine Corps, into the infantry by itself, So then you put all those guys get together, and it like I said, it was a perfect storm of confluence of a like a perfect storm of causes. They found the folly in that. So when I got to tows, was when I really kind of went off the rails. And not everybody that I was in with back then was partaking of all the stuff that I did, or the people people that I hung out with did. There were people in the unit, even at tows, that were very, very spit shined and squared away. And then at the other one, there were the actual shitbirds that completely didn't buy into the whole military discipline, etc. And then there were people like me that were in the middle. I wasn't quite a shitbird. I made it to corporal. I even got a good conduct medal. But so I wasn't a shitbird, but I was kind of a discipline problem, I guess they would have classified me as. I like drinking. I like doing a lot of the drugs, and like I said, I made good use of my time in the Marine Corps. I had a great time. Like I said, it was just in between all the wars. Like I said, when I was over in Okinawa, there was a lot of even sergeants, almost all the staff NCOs, they were all Vietnam veterans. So we were being we were supervised by people that went to Vietnam in the infantry in the Marine Corps, and then they liked it so much that they ended up making a career out of it. So those were our mentors. Were that crew, and then when I got to Camp Lejeune, things were, like I said, I think was it Albert Gray, Alfred Gray, whatever, the commandant, and they took over right after I got out. He likened that era of the Marine Corps to the I think he called it the wilderness years, or he likened it to the wild, wild west, or and then there was kind of that kind of atmosphere back then. So I know a lot of the squared away Marines that I was in back then. They might hear these stories, and some people might get upset when they hear the stories. A lot of people will just they knew stuff was going on, but they didn't know quite how widespread it was with certain people. But anyway, it was even the people that I hung out with, that we did a lot of crazy things, but we took the job part of it very serious. Even thinking back, I would still go into battle with the exact same group that I was in back then, and everybody. I'm still friends with a lot of them, and people went their own way, and everybody completely came out different. I mean, just you can look at me and see that I'm a little bit different. As long as I just brought that up, I might as well address that a little bit. I know that you're looking at me, you think, like, what the hell's up with this guy's beard? I like, my fingernails are painted. Why the eye patches? I had no choice on that, but why, you say? Do I look so odd than compared to other people? Well, it's like basically my whole life, normal people have kind of put me off or kind of freaked me out. And as I got older, I thought, maybe I should return the favor. So it keeps people on their toes and keeps them at a distance. I mean, people actually really want to get a hold of me or to touch base with me. They really got to get around the way I look, and it kind of weeds out the people that I want weeded out. So anyway, I am going to. I am going to start with just some of the stories that I had back in the day, and like I said, this channel is it's going to be a work in progress. I'm just going to make it up as I go along. I'm hoping maybe some of the guys that I was in with, maybe we can get together and do like some Zoom stuff where we're both telling stories or telling a story from both sides or whatever. Like I said, we'll kind of play with it as we go along here, and that's about. I think I probably rambled enough. Oh, I was going to address this. People have told me that if you're going to put yourself up on YouTube, that that you make yourself a target, and people can be mean on YouTube, and look at me. I probably be a good target for people. I mean, like I said, it's I'm not an average looking person, but I've also I did 12 or 13 years of Catholic school, and followed by 4 years in the Marine Corps. So, have at it, man. I enjoy a good slam, a good I'm looking forward to your people's what do you call it? Creativity. Like I said, I mean, if you can't, well, that's the other thing I might have mentioned. I can't remember. I did early on my monologue here that I've had a couple strokes. Actually, this is 2016. At the beginning of the year, I had a major stroke where I completely lost the ability to read or not read. I could read, but I couldn't write and I couldn't talk at all. I would open my mouth and just gibberish came out. And maybe you've been watching this part up to this point. You probably thinking, well, yeah, you still got gibberish coming out. Maybe. Anyway, so if you can't make fun of a guy who's got an eye patch, paints his fingernails, has a blue beard, and a speech impediment, if you can't work with that kind of what do you call it, ammunition, well then I feel sorry for you. So anyway, have at it, and I'll go. I'm going to start up with one of my stories. All right.